Hello, everybody. We're here with Javier Marroquin, and he's a follower of Jesus, and he has a testimony of Jesus that he's going to share with us tonight. So go ahead, take it away. Tell us where you came from and where you've been and how you got here.
Yeah, thank you, Trey. Thanks for having me, allowing me to share with you my testimony. Again, my name's Javier. I originally am from Southern California. I grew up in San Bernardino, California, and I graduated high school there before moving to the great state of Utah, which is very different, a completely different environment than what I grew up in California. A little bit about myself, my background. I actually grew up in a Christian household, but I actually didn't start taking my spiritual life, my faith, my relationship with Jesus, really. I didn't start taking that seriously until I was 17, about to graduate high school. That's when the real world hit me, really. I was born to a single mother, and so I saw her hardships, the way she dealt with difficulties in her life. And I saw how often she prayed and how much she read, how much she studied, how much time she spent in worship. And although I joined her mostly due to obligation, and she would take me to church with her, I was very involved. But again, I didn't I myself didn't really have a relationship with Jesus until I was around 17. Although,
Did you have any siblings in the family?
nope,
Okay.
single child. And I grew up around some cousins that, again, we were also raised in a Christian environment. We didn't really develop our relationship with the Lord until we were, late in our late teens. And so
Did you have any contact with your father at all?
I did not. No. Yeah, that's a whole other part that really, again, growing up in my teenage years, that was something that really was a big question. Luckily, I had my mother is really an angel in explaining things, difficult things to me. And so at a young age kind of understood
Because
the situation. And
that's
so,
often an obstacle when you grow up with an absent father or a abusive father is
you're
trying
right.
to believe that a heavenly father is all good when you don't really have that experience of an all good father.
Yeah, and that's so interesting. You mentioned that the way you did, because over the last 4 or 5 years, a little bit pre-COVID, I would say, that's when I really began to understand the Lord as a father. And there's also a lover and closer than a brother, a friend. And so it's so interesting. We get to experience the Lord in different facets. And so I would agree with you that for me is a challenging way to experience the Lord, I would say. But again, I think the dependency that I saw my mother have on the Lord, that really inspired me to kind of be the same way. And so as I started to experience my own hardships, my own difficult decisions to make, whether I was going to go to college, what I was going to study, where I wanted to work, what I wanted to uh, specialize in, were all very big, had a lot of pressure. And so I was able to get through those difficult times and moments
And what church did you grow
through the
up
Lord.
in? What church did your mother go to?
We have been Sabbath keeping Christians, the Seventh Day Adventist Church, my whole life. And so that was a very strange one growing up, because not a lot of, especially in San Bernardino, the Catholic presence is very big there. And so I was always really the odd one out, with friends and high school sports, and just like a lot of other people. And so
What does Seventh-day Adventists do on Sunday, by the way?
yeah, that's a great question. I could tell you what we do on the seventh day. That's the day we worship, and so really Sunday is the start of the week for many, and at least for myself, it's a day for work.
Okay. Well, I know some Seventh-day Adventists, or maybe all, are vegetarians. Is that true?
No, not completely true, but a large portion, I would say. The health message is a very big thing in the Seventh-day Adventist beliefs, and so a large portion, I would say, are vegetarians or trying.
So, did it something dramatic happen at age 17 that changed you to where you turned to Jesus?
That was I wouldn't call it dramatic, but I'm sure everyone at some point experiences the time or the question of what am I going to do with my life? I think that really hit me at that age because I wasn't I was a good student in high school, but not good enough to get full ride scholarships. I really wanted college to be in my future and really for young people, college and academic success is very big. It's something that we all want to be successful in. And I think that for me in my environment in that city where I was from, if you don't go to college, you fall into a lot of the wrong of your environment. In the city I live in, there was a large number of people around me in my community that never went to college that,
So, did you
you
go
know
to college then?
yeah, I did, I
Where did
did.
you where did
Here in Utah, but, yes, thank the Lord that I was able to
so where did you go to
enroll.
college?
I enrolled here at a local, community college. It's, abbreviated as SLIC.
Salt Lake City Community College.
That's right, that's the one. Yeah, I studied, computer science. I kind of bounced around like a lot of other students with different majors until I landed on computer science.
And has that led to a career for you?
Yeah, it has, and I'm still kind of furthering my education and completing little, certifications on the side, and so, although I haven't fully completed what I want to achieve, the Lord has opened up so many doors for me, and so these are doors that I don't know if I would have had in California in that environment.
What about the looming threat of AI? Is it gonna come?
But yeah, that's a question and one that I probably don't have enough information to answer because, it's very helpful, but still cannot replace really a person
Sure.
completely yet, at least, and so, we're safe for now.
So one of the reasons we started this channel is because so much of what's on social media like YouTube now is AI generated. I feel like there needs to be a distinct corner where you've got real people talking about real things and not just kind of made up stuff. So
Absolutely,
so
absolutely.
what about your own family? Are you married yet or looking to be married or where?
I don't have a family for myself just yet. I'm dating, and the goal, of course, is to get married. Hopefully, we can do that soon. We still have quite a bit to accomplish in our academically and also professionally, and so, Lord willing, we'll be able to be married
So
in a
tomorrow
few
is my years. My fourth anniversary with my current wife. And part of the reason
Congratulations.
we were able to meet was because I appeared on a YouTube channel that collects testimonies, kind of like we're doing here. And she was able to take my testimony off the internet and show it to all of her kids and all of her friends and decide, okay, this looks like a good guy. So this could be a calling card for you if you decide to use it in that way. And that's part of the reason and hope for growing the channel is the idea that people have a permanent testimony of Jesus Christ that they can point others to and say, look, this is really what I'm all about. So are you really
Right.
all about Jesus?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad. I thank you for having invited me and actually even starting this ministry because I mean, being able to use technology the way that we are right now, we can further really the message and the gospel. And although maybe my testimony is not one that people can relate to, the more people we invite to do this sort of thing can relate to many more people and in that way inspire others to uh, experience the Lord for themselves, or maybe it's already that they have been experienced the Lord, and we get them to share their testimony as well
So how do you experience the Lord now?
through my relationships. with people. I think that especially being involved in a church really allows me to experience the Lord through my community and puts people in my life that are really genuinely concerned about me, interested in me, and are willing to help me grow spiritually. I mean, being able to have conversations about what the word of the Lord means to me, or what it's trying to tell me today in this moment, being able to discuss that with people that, again, have my best interest at heart is something very special that I've been very grateful for recently. So
So,
that's how I'd
because I
say.
met you at a Bible study, you seem to know the Bible incredibly well and understand it incredibly well. So, I know Jesus speaks to you through the Bible. How about the still small voice, the voice of the Spirit? Do you hear that as well?
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of times where, at least personally, there comes a time where I'm waiting for the Lord to speak to me loudly, very distinctly, and I want a clear answer, but I've learned that the Lord doesn't always communicate the way I want him to, and he knows what is best, and I'm confident he does, and so that is an interesting yet difficult thing to listen for, if I could put it that way.
So, have you ever had any sort of faith crisis where you were like, I don't think he's with me anymore?
I think I would say so. I think that's not as uncommon among young folks, just because I think that today in a digital age, we're used to seeing miracles. We're used to fast. We're used to now. We're used to um, results quickly and prime shipping, and we're in a really fast-paced world. And so when things we pray for aren't happening, or steps aren't being taken to accomplish something, or we don't see the Lord working in our lives, I would say a younger version of me did feel like the Lord was maybe ignoring me. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe that's not what the Lord wanted for me, or I don't know. I definitely would have categorized those things as some kind of doubt. But today I know that the Lord is with me still during the wait and during the season of where nothing's growing or nothing is happening. And so I would say I have experienced though
We
that.
just added Matthew 10:32 to the website because it seems like a really important verse for what we're doing. Are you familiar with Matthew 10:32 off the top of your head or not?
Off the top of my head, I'm not,
So,
but
what it says
I
is
have it here.
it's Jesus speaking, and he says, if you acknowledge me to the world, I will acknowledge you to the
Mm,
Father. So, to my understanding, that verse is kind of like the ultimate guarantee of salvation. And that's why we're doing this channel. That's why I'm asking you to testify. And that's why I'm going to ask you to ask others to testify as well, whether they want to come and talk to me or you want to take the baton and have them talk to you. So that's the idea, is getting this started where people are making video testimonies that will last forever.
mm.
We plan to archive every one of these testimonies, and maybe there comes a time in your life when you have a little bit of a faith crisis and you can look back and say, wow, my testimony was strong there. Or you can show it to your kids. You can say, look, I've had a strong testimony for a very long time. I'd like to wrap it up here with you. Everything you've said, you're good with it being on the internet forever and ever with your testimony and your name, Javier Marroquin, attached to it.
That's right, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stop the recording right now and talk to you for just a few minutes after. Thank you so much, Javier.
Thanks, Trey.